shakers. I have several shakers that I've been using on my rig. I had to do-it-yourself stuff like the Hover Easy, Hover Bag, and several things that I have to show you. But today I just wanted to show you some of the base shakers that I've been using and the newer one that is just coming out, a very new device. So I'm happy to get a hold of it and try it for you guys. But some of the more common ones is the butt kicker LFE. Now this one has a label. This is my trademark for my sofa, the Annihilator Tactile Plane. But this is just a regular butt kicker LFE. And here we have a Dayton Audio BST300EX, which is really the one that I recommend from the Daytons. This is a very good one too. And this one is from a company called Shed Audio. And this is the SA2. It's the smallest of all. And as you can see, this one comes pre-wired, and you just have to like splice the wires here. I would like it to have like a binding post like this or something, but you know, we'll talk about that later. So let me show you the boxes really quick. So the boxes are a bit funny because this is the box for the Dayton. This is for the butt kicker. And then is this little thing with the box for the SA2. Literally, I think I can fit 4 of them on the butt kicker box. Just a little thing. Now this one actually comes with mounting hardware because it's a bit different than the others. This one comes with this and this. It's a T-nut and an M6 bolt because this just screws through the center. Unlike the others that have like a more common 4 mounted ports like this, 4 holes here on the base. And the same for the Dayton Audio. Okay, so I just wanted to give you. Now I've been using this for the longest time. This is the one that I just got right now. So I'm giving you my first impressions, and then as I continue testing, then I will continue adding to this video. But right now, my first impressions were like, this one is a lot faster reacting to bass, which is great for music. And now it's a bit trickier to get these ones the way I'm configuring them to keep up with the some specific bass tracks. Like, it's not all the songs, but some songs are like just lags behind, and it bugs me. So sometimes I disable them, especially the butt kicker. But it depends on the song too, right? But with this one, it always kicks up. It's very, very fast. There's no lag. And I'm talking to the developer of this. That was the goal. He's told me that he always felt that the shakers in the market were a bit too slow and laggy responding to bass. So he wanted to do something much faster, and he definitely accomplished it. But, you know, it's pros and cons, and I will tell you why in a minute when I test more. But yeah, I'm definitely adding them to my sofa because I feel like I'm going to be using them for music most of the time over the rest. But let me show you weight size, how they compare. Okay, so first on the scale is the butt kicker. So this will be 10.1 pounds. Or if we change to kilograms, I'll be 4.93 kilograms. Will be the Dayton Audio, which is 2.53 kilograms, or 5.9 pounds, or 5. Yeah. So almost 6 pounds on that one, and over 10 on the butt kicker. And the new kit on the block, this one is only 3.3 pounds and 12 ounces, or in kilograms, 1.69 kilograms. So by far the lightest of all of them, and you can tell when you're mounting them. This one is very easy to grab with one hand. This one's trickier, and this one becomes a lot harder. So yeah, the butt kicker for sure is the heaviest. Here I am looking at the Annihilator, my crazy, some may say overkill tactile sofa. This is just the bag. You're not seeing a whole of it, but you know, you get an idea. So I got these new shakers that I want to try. I really tested them, and I really like what they do with music, especially, and some of the midtones, the way they transfer, and they're very fast and accurate. So I want to add them. So I think I'm going to add them right here. This is the spot between the top BST 300s and the hoverback, which is the killers, the kicker subwoofers that I'm using for hoverback. So I got this empty spot in the middle. Now, obviously I could transfer them here too, but my wife likes to sit them out here, and normally when my wife's watching a movie, I put this side ones so I have the power, because she doesn't like the super loud banging on the back that this can produce. These ones are like less dramatic for me for movies. So far I haven't tweaked them a lot. I've just quick test, but I feel like I want to have them closer to me. That way I can get the most out of the 4 that I'm going to be installing. And then they're going to go first. I'm going to be installing them into a single IEMA is 07 Max with a 48 volt 5 amp adapter, and see how they behave with that kind of power. Hopefully it's going to be enough, and then we'll go from there. And just for reference, at the bottom you got more shakers and butt kickers. And I have debated setting these shakers from the bottom, the BST 300s, and just putting them all up here, because it will be a direct injection kind of feeling. Like, less power is wasted going against this piece of wood that is connected to this piece of wood that then is connected to the sofa, all that before it hits me, right? That's a lot of wasted energy. But they feel so good also, the way they vibrate the bottom of the sofa. So that's why I'm keeping them there. Plus, I think they look pretty cool. But yeah, I debated just putting them all right here, 2 more and 2 more on the side, and then moving them out and just leaving the butt kickers on there. But we'll see. For now, let's go back to the Shed Audio SA2s. Okay, just finished installing the Shed Audio SA2s. Are here, one below. Doing some padding, the wiring, and the other one is here, and the one's under that one. So the all 4. They are connected as a 4-ohm load for the amp. So that's why I have this cable. It's connecting from this one to the other one. Hey guys, so I wanted to add this quick video since I'm working on the Shed Audio SA2s right now, because I wanted to change the bolt from that bottom one. For some reason, that bottom one is protruding on this side of the wood. Well, you won't see it now because I just removed it, but it was coming out past the knot, and it could kind of like bug me a little bit if I bump into it. So I decided to just get a shorter bolt so it's tight, but it doesn't go through. And the nuts I don't mind, because the padded, the cover that I have is padded enough so it covers the bolts, but the nut coming through it, covered the nuts, but the bolt coming through out of the center of the nut was a bit out there, and it could hurt a little bit. So since I'm going to be changing that bolt, I decided to just show you a little bit more how it looks. You can see the Dayton 300EX there, and another 2 SA2s down there. So that's kind of the setup looks. So I can finally provide my impressions of the Shed Audio SA2s. I've been using them for quite a while now. I've been comparing them to the Dayton shakers, the BST 300EX, and also the butt kickers LFE, and the other tactile devices that I have. And I think I'm prepared and to provide a useful feedback about them. So in terms of price, they're in the middle. They are pricier than the Dayton shakers, BST 300s, less money than the butt kickers. In terms of the size or the weight, they are like the lightest. The Daytons are the middle, and the butt kickers are the heaviest. Now, in terms of feedback, the tactile response, they are very different from the others. And I feel that they all are different in a way, how you perceive their vibrations and the tactile impact. It's pretty different. And depending on how you equalize them, like with the mini DSP, they can even feel different. The same device, like the butt kickers, can feel way different depending on how the EQ is. Like I make them have more wobble depending if I push like lower lip frequencies or be more impactful in the middle or like the mid frequencies. So it depends on how you equalize it, right? But overall, my impressions are, and the main thing that I like about the Shure Audio SA2s is accuracy and speed. One of the things talking to the company when I was researching it is like they felt that most of the tactile devices in the industry, at least the more affordable ones, are a bit sluggish and slow to react. And that's true. I experienced that myself. When I was testing, what I felt is it's honestly faster. Like, for example, for music, definitely that they're my favorite, easily over the butt kickers and the Dayton shakers. They're very fast, very punchy and accurate, and they really make the music come alive. And like bass lines, you can feel that beat right there on points. It never feels to be lag, no matter what the bass frequency is. And that was something that was always a bit tricky with some of the shakers. Even after you align them perfectly, the speed can vary, and some bass notes and bass lines can make it more laggy than others. Same with the butt kickers is the heaviest one, so it has this lug thing that is moving, and that can lag too. Now for movies, it's not so much. You don't normally notice so much because of the explosions and things like that. It's all kind of like more blended. But for music, with the bass line punching there or the drum beat, it's hard to miss, right, when something is laggy. So for music, they're always there for me. I love it, and the way I have it configured, they have their own separate amps. Like everything is like a separate amp, different channels, so I can pretty much pick and choose what I want to use for my experience at the time. Like for music, I can have my subwoofers, and I can have my Dayton SA2s, and I can have my hover bag woofers, the kickers. So it depends on how I feel about the music per se, what I want to experience that day. But a constant was always going to be the SA2s are going to be there because I love how they give that punch and they keep it on timing, right? In a way, it even helps the others. Like if I had something that is a bit laggier, somehow the on time beat of the SA2s makes the others feel like they're also more on time, right? So it blends better. So I get to use the other more often for music or things like that, where I may shy away from in other synthesizers, but it depends. But for the most part, it's always going to be there. The SA2s for music is always going to be there. Now, for movies, at first when I was testing them, I was concerned that the lightweight was going to be a problem comparing to the bigger ones. And then I started comparing them side by side. Like I made like a small one chair device for just one piece of wood with the SA2s and the Daytons and the butt kicker. And I was surprised how good they punch, and they go pretty low too. I feel like actually in the low frequencies, they may actually go lower than the BST300CX. The butt kickers can go lower, but they can, if you push them too hard low, they can button up, because they will hit the limit and you will hit the clanking sound. And I know some people modify them with rubber bands and stuff like that to prevent that noise. So that's an option, but I don't want to open mine, and I don't need to push them that hard. I push them as hard as possible just before it starts getting there. And that's kind of how I have everything set up. Like at a limit, I know where the limit is. Then I have some headroom, right? And so I never get to experience any weird noises. Plus, the way I'm doing my setup, and I digress a little bit, but the way I'm doing my setup is I have all this headroom for all my different devices and different tactile experiences that I deliver. And then I'm trying to make them blend, and each one offers a little bit of what they can do and give me this full experience that is a compilation of all of them without anything being too overpowering. Now, I overdo it more than most, I suppose, but the idea is that they all incorporate, it's like an orchestra, an ensemble of tactile devices. Well, coming back to the comparisons, the SA2s, where they shine is in detail and that speed. And detail, I mean, it's like the Daytons are like bargain, in my opinion, for the price, but they're not going to be the most accurate, right? Like when some action is happening, like Godzilla fighting Kong, for example. you feel some of that impact, boom, boom, and all the tactile that you want. But the moment you switch, if I turn them off and put the SA2s only, you start noticing the differences, like those explosions and punches and then all that. It's coming across my back like that. I'm feeling the tactile more precision, like faster. I can tell more of the things that's happening on screen. It's translating on vibrations on my back. Whereas with the Dayton BST 300EX, it's a bit more mushy. And I don't want to say mushy in a way like people's going to say like, well, I don't want to buy this. They're still great. But in comparison, there's a lot of more blending of those impacts where you don't get that separation of what you're seeing on screen. Some of the stuff is being blended together in one sole impact, right? Where with the SA2s, you get more detail, like more accuracy. That the speed is coming across, and it's not lacking in power either. Now, the butt kickers, the way I have them is a different nature. It's like I have them pushing more low frequencies, like kiss this push on, because the way I have them is like, and I'll show you in a video, it's more horizontally, so it's like pushing forward on my sofa, and it kicks really good, and like this wobble vibration, which is really cool. I like how they are doing it. But the butt kickers also have this thing where they can get noisy depending on how you're playing them, like this like annoying like sound. The Dayton shakers are pretty quiet in comparison, but I feel that the SA2s are the most quiet too, so that's always great. So you don't get weird noises. They just do their business and they're quiet again. But the butt kickers can hit harder because, I mean, there's a much heavier device. So I hope that Shed Audio comes out with an even bigger version of it. If they can keep the accuracy and speed and detail, that'll be awesome. If they can keep what they already have and then just add extra power, extra heaviness to it. I don't know how they'll do it, but I wish they can do it. But that's my thing. The butt kickers can get harder, but it's a different experience too. So I don't, in that regards, I don't feel it's one or the other. It depends on what you prefer. Even in my setup, I have them all and I love them all for what they deliver. But the one that it's really, really getting my attention is the SA2s, just because that detail and accuracy and fast speed to give me the tactile. It just translates more of the on-screen action that I'd had before. Now my Hover Back and Hover Easy, it's a different creature, right? It's very fast too. So this is more like a do-it-yourself business. But if you're buying something like already made product, the SA2s will be hard to pass on, because if you crave that speed for music and detail and all that, and you don't mind spending a little bit more money, I will definitely give them a shot. The shakers will be a great option for the price. You're just not going to have the same amount of detail on the bass. It's going to be more and simple rendition or transition of what you see on screen to what you feel on the back. But it's still great. It's just not as good in my opinion, right? And the butt kicker is just going to give you more punch, more heaviness to it. And depending on how you set it up, it can be really cool, that feeling. But at the same time, it's going to be more nice. Like if there's a movie that has, if you're using BEQ like we normally do to extract some of that lost bass on movies, sometimes there might be a scene where like a low frequency noise is going, but there's not really much going on the audio department other than that. With the butt kickers, that might trigger that noises that I was talking about. Hopefully my noise reduction is not going to cut my sound effects so you can hear it. Where with the Dayton and the SA2s, it doesn't do that. So it's a trade, right? But the only thing I would like for this specific model, I would like them to give us a thicker cable. I don't like the thin cable that they provided. First of all, it's attached to the unit, so there's nothing. It's not like a banana plugs or anything like that. What it is, and it's kind of fairly short. So I feel like if you start cutting, eventually you're going to run out of it. So hopefully you don't need to cut it that often, right? But I just feel like a banana plugs would be nice, or some sort of binding post or whatever, anything that you can just put your own cable. And the thin cable is just, I don't like it. I mean, obviously they're performing great, but for me, I love thicker cable for peace of mind, and I don't like the thin cable that they're using. So hopefully they will improve that. But besides making a bigger unit to see what they can do with a bigger unit, I'm really, really impressed with these SA2s. I can definitely recommend them. I'm using all 4 right now, and they just blow my mind, especially for music. That beat, it's awesome. And then just to extract the extra detail from movies and explosions where before I couldn't tell exactly that was happening, and suddenly I feel all these extra vibrations and little punches here and there that I was missing. It just creates more immersion, right? And that's the idea. If you have the money to stretch from the shakers to the BST3 to the SA2s, I will go for them. If not, get the BST300 CX, and you will have a great experience too. And the butt kickers will give you a different tactile thing, more butt kicking, I suppose. The heaviness. It's just not gonna be as fast. So if I had to choose one, that would be a tough one, but I will probably go with the SA2s just because I can use them more for music and for movies, and that speed will be there, right? If I had to choose 2, I will probably add the butt kickers because of the difference that you can create with the butt kickers compared to the SA2, so they can both add their mix. Now, the BST300s also have their own vibration type, but I feel that if I were to have only 2 types, I would be the butt kickers and the SA2s. But yeah, I'm very impressed with this. This came out of nowhere. I read it on Reddit. I was reading something about tactiles, and somebody mentioned that. I had no idea they existed. I decided to give it a shot. I'm very happy I did. So I'm gonna try and get the company to create a bigger one. Hopefully they will listen to me. Probably not. But as it is, I can recommend it, and hopefully you get to try it and let me know in the description if you have tried it or plan to get them. I would love to hear what your opinion is on them. But yep, again, thumbs up from me. So as always, let me know if you have any questions. I will reply as fast as I can. Like, subscribe, share, all this stuff. Thank you for watching.